Today, we'll explore the intriguing story behind the ending of Hardcore Pawn, from its origins to the internal conflicts that led to its conclusion. We'll uncover all the details. Get ready for a journey full of drama, mystery, and surprising revelations. Let's get started. Pawn Stars transformed, capturing millions with its authentic portrayal of pawn shop life. Genuine interactions and historical haggling fascinated viewers, revealing hidden treasures and their stories. From its inception, the show stood out for its authenticity, showcasing genuine interactions and haggling over historical artifacts. Viewers were fascinated by the possibility of discovering hidden treasures and the stories that accompanied them. Show's essence faded as producers sought ratings, adding sensational elements and bizarre items. As the seasons progressed, the quest for ratings and audience interest led producers to add sensationalism. Episodes featured bizarre items and questionable valuations, disappointed many fans. The episodes started to include increasingly bizarre items and questionable valuations. This gradual but obvious transformation left many fans feeling disappointed. Authenticity was replaced by a manufactured spectacle, and orchestrated drama took center stage over genuine transactions. The phenomenon of jumping the shark perfectly describes this situation. On television, this term refers to the desperate attempts of a show to keep the audience's interest through extravagant plot twists. Pawn Stars fell into the same creative trap, losing the charm that originally made it popular. Authenticity and spontaneity were sacrificed for sensationalism, marking the beginning of its decline. The phenomenon of jumping the shark isn't exclusive to Pawn Stars. Many popular TV shows face the temptation to use extreme tactics to maintain their relevance and audience. In the case of Pawn Stars, this phenomenon manifested itself in the introduction of exaggerated plots and artificial scenarios that, while initially grabbing attention, eventually alienated viewers. Authenticity, which had been one of the show's main strengths, was compromised in the process. Over time, the introduction of increasingly extravagant items and questionable valuations began to undermine the show's credibility. The early episodes, which featured genuine interactions and negotiations over historical artifacts, gave way to a manufactured spectacle where orchestrated drama became the main focus. Fans, who had been drawn in by the authenticity and spontaneity of the transactions, began to feel disappointed and disconnected. The pressure to maintain ratings led the producers to make increasingly extreme decisions. Fans who had been drawn to the authenticity and spontaneity of the transactions began to feel disappointed and disengaged. The pressure to maintain ratings led the producers to make increasingly extreme decisions. Experts were hired to evaluate items whose authenticity and value were often inflated to create more spectacle. This approach not only eroded the show's credibility, but also jeopardized the trust relationship that viewers had developed with the cast and the experts. The shift from authenticity to sensationalism led to Pawn Stars' decline. Authenticity was lost, affecting the show's success. Authenticity, which had been the heart of the show's success, was lost in the desperate quest to maintain relevance and viewership. Fans started to notice the lack of spontaneity and the obvious manipulation of the storylines, which led to a decline in the fan base. The shift from a genuine and educational approach to a manufactured spectacle was one of the key factors that contributed to the decline of Pawn Stars. Number 2, the impact of questionable experts. The credibility of the specialists was one of the cornerstones of Pawn Stars' success. These experts, with their specialized knowledge and charisma, added a layer of legitimacy to the show. However, several scandals involving the experts began to undermine the public's trust in their evaluations. A notable case was that of John Reznikov, an autograph authenticator who made a significant error in identifying a signature on a script for The Godfather. This mistake not only damaged his reputation, but also called into question the reliability of the evaluations on the show. Another incident involved Johnny Jimenez Jr., a toy expert who faced legal issues due to a domestic violence incident. This incident, captured on camera, stood in stark contrast to the professional image that Pawn Stars projected. Additionally, Drew Max, an authentication expert, was implicated in a fraud case involving fake sports memorabilia, which added another layer of distrust. These scandals not only affected individual experts, but also damaged the integrity of the program. The audience started to question the authenticity of the evaluations and lose faith in the truthfulness of the transactions displayed. The reliability of the specialists is crucial to the show's identity, and their involvement in illegal activities or professional mistakes had a significant negative impact. The presence of experts on the show was meant to provide a layer of authenticity and legitimacy to the transactions displayed. Viewers relied on these specialists' evaluations for accurate information about the items presented. The presence of experts on the show was intended to provide a layer of authenticity and legitimacy to the transactions shown. Viewers relied on these specialists' evaluations for accurate information about the items presented. However, the mistakes and scandals involving these experts began to erode that trust. The show's credibility was compromised when the experts' mistakes became public, and the evaluations presented began to be questioned. The case of John Reznikov, in particular, was a significant blow to the show's credibility. His mistake in identifying a signature on a script from The Godfather was a reminder that even experts can make mistakes. This incident made viewers start to question the accuracy of other evaluations presented on the show. Trust, once lost, is hard to regain, and this mistake had a lasting impact on the perception of the show. Johnny Jimenez Jr.'s legal troubles also negatively impacted the show's image. His involvement in a domestic violence incident stood in stark contrast to the professional image he portrayed on the show. They also negatively affected the show's image. His involvement in a domestic violence incident stood in stark contrast to the professional image he portrayed on the show. This incident not only damaged his personal reputation, but also reflected negatively on the show as a whole. The public's perception of the integrity and character of the experts is crucial for the credibility of a show like Pawn Stars. Drew Max, another prominent expert on the show, also faced legal issues that affected his reputation and that of the program. His involvement in a fraud case involving fake sports memorabilia added another layer of distrust. The perception that the experts might be involved in illegal or unethical activities further undermined the public's trust in the evaluations presented on the show. These scandals and mistakes not only affected the experts individually, but also had a significant impact on the integrity of the show. The audience started to question the authenticity of the evaluations and lose faith in the truthfulness of the transactions displayed. The reliability of the specialists is crucial to the show's identity, and their involvement in illegal activities or professional mistakes had a significant negative impact. Number 3, the dehumanization of the characters. In its early days, Pawn Stars had a cast of fascinating personalities. Rick Harrison, with his keen eye for historical artifacts, the old man with his grumpy charm, Corey with her youthful ambition, and Chumley with his humor created a unique and engaging dynamic. However, as the seasons progressed, these characters began to be reduced to caricatures. Flanderization simplified Pawn Stars' characters. Rick became bossy, the old man grumpy, Corey stagnant, and Chumley a clown. Rick became an authoritarian figure. The old man was reduced to a predictable grump. Corey stopped evolving as a character, and Chumley went from being an adorable goof to a clown. This dehumanization negatively affected the show's authenticity and its ability to connect with its audience. Genuine interactions were replaced by scripted scenarios, and the store, once a treasure trove of history and bargaining, was transformed into a stage for manufactured drama. This loss of depth in the characters and the predictability of the plots contributed to the decline of the show. The essence that made Pawn Stars a television phenomenon was lost along the way. The evolution of the characters in Pawn Stars followed a common pattern in television. The old man, known for his grumpy charm, also underwent a similar transformation. His witty remarks and matter-of-fact attitude, which initially charmed viewers, were reduced to predictable grunts and cliched responses. The richness of his character was lost as the show progressed, and his role became more of a caricature than a fully developed character. Rick's ambitious son, Corey, initially presented as a young man eager to prove himself in the family business, stopped evolving. His character arc stagnated, and his role on the show became a background character without much development. The lack of evolution in his character made his presence on the show less impactful and less interesting for viewers. Chumlee, the clumsy but lovable clerk, underwent the biggest transformation. His character went from being an endearing comic relief to an over-the-top buffoon. Why the humorous situations and genuine interactions that originally made him popular were replaced by scripted scenarios that emphasized his clumsiness in an exaggerated manner. This evolution not only affected her character, but also contributed to the general perception that the show had become less authentic. The process of Flanderization and the simplification of the characters in Pawn Stars negatively impacted the authenticity of the show. Genuine and spontaneous interactions were replaced by scripted scenarios that lacked the same depth and emotional connection. The shop, which was once a treasure trove of history and negotiation, turned into a stage for manufactured and predictable drama. The dehumanization of the characters not only affected the quality of the show, but also had an impact on viewers' ability to emotionally connect with the cast. The authenticity and richness of the characters were key elements that initially drew viewers to the show. As these elements faded, the show's ability to keep its audience engaged and connected significantly decreased. Number 4. Internal problems. The success of Pawn Stars brought unexpected challenges. Rick Harrison, the heart and soul of the show, began to feel the weight of exhaustion after years of production. What started as a project to raise the profile of the shop turned into a constant demand for time and energy. The pressure to keep the show going took a toll on both Rick and his family. In 2015, Rick expressed his desire to scale back his involvement in the show, looking for a balance between his professional and personal life. However, the idea of his retirement worried fans, who doubted the show's ability to survive without his charismatic leadership. The transition to greater responsibility for Corey and Chumlee was also fraught with complexities, especially due to Chumlee's legal issues. Rick Harrison, from the very start of the show, was the central figure and the driving force that propelled Pawn Stars to success. His deep knowledge and charisma were instrumental in attracting the audience and maintaining interest in the show. However, the constant pace of production and the pressure to maintain the quality and authenticity of the show began to take a toll. Rick, who initially saw the show as a way to promote his shop, found himself caught in an exhausting cycle of filming and responsibilities. Rick's burnout wasn't an isolated phenomenon. The pressure of keeping a successful show going for over a decade took a toll on the entire cast. Corey, his son, also began to feel the weight of expectations and the need to uphold the family legacy. Chumlee, although he initially enjoyed his role on the show, also faced personal challenges that complicated his continued involvement. The family dynamics and relationships among the cast members became tense, reflecting the stress and fatigue that had built up over the years. The possibility of Rick scaling back his involvement in the show created uncertainty for both the cast and the audience. Fans were wondering if Pawn Stars could maintain its quality and appeal without the constant presence of its central figure. The transition of responsibilities to Corey and Chumlee had its own challenges. Corey, while competent and knowledgeable, lacked the same charisma as his father, and Chumlee was facing legal issues that made the situation even more complicated. The constant demand for time and energy, combined with the pressure to maintain high standards, created a challenging environment for everyone involved. The reduction of Rick's role was a response to these pressures, but it also raised questions about the future of the show and its ability to adapt to changes. Number 5. Chumlee's legal troubles. Chumlee, known for his cheerful and clumsy personality, faced serious legal issues that affected both his image and that of the show. In 2016, a police raid at his home revealed significant amounts of illegal substances and unregistered firearms. Although the sexual assault allegations were not substantiated, the findings at his residence raised serious concerns about his behavior outside of the show. This scandal not only damaged Chumley's reputation, but also affected the perception of the show as a whole. Chumley's story, which was once a source of humor and lightness, turned into a narrative of legal troubles and controversies. The public reaction was mixed, with some fans showing support and others harshly criticizing his behavior. The resolution of the case through a plea deal, which avoided jail time but included a probation period, left an indelible mark on the perception of the show. The lack of a clear public statement from the History Channel about the incident fueled speculation and distrust. Chumley's legal troubles added another layer of complication to the already tense internal situation of the show. The impact of Chumley's legal troubles extended beyond his personal image and affected the public's perception of Pawn Stars. Chumley, whose real name is Austin Lee Russell, had always been a beloved character on the show, known for his humor and endearing personality. His presence brought a touch of lightness and fun to the shop's dynamic, balancing the serious focus on buying and selling historical items. However, the events of 2016 drastically changed the public's perception of his character. The police raid at Chumley's house revealed significant amounts of methamphetamine, marijuana, and various firearms, many of which were not legally registered. Although the initial allegations of sexual assault were not substantiated, the nature of the findings was enough to cause a huge media uproar. Chumley's public image, once seen as harmless and funny, was tarnished by the serious legal implications of these discoveries. The public reaction was mixed. Some fans expressed their support, reminiscing about the moments of humor and entertainment that Chumley had provided over the years. Others, however, felt betrayed by his behavior and harshly criticized his actions. This kind of polarization is common in situations where public figures face significant legal issues. The mix of support and condemnation reflected the complexity of the situation and the difficulty of reconciling Chumley's public image with the revealed facts. The resolution of the case through a plea deal allowed Chumley to avoid jail time, but not without consequences. The agreement included a probation period and additional obligations, which showed the seriousness of the charges. The lack of a clear and public response from the History Channel regarding the incident and its implications for the show contributed to speculation and distrust among viewers. The absence of an official stance left many fans with unanswered questions about Chumley's future on the show and how it would affect the overall dynamic of Pawn Stars. Chumley's legal troubles also highlighted an underlying tension within the cast and production of the show. The personal lives of the cast members and their actions off-screen have a direct impact on public perception and the integrity of the show. Chumley's situation raised questions about the handling of the crisis and the support cast members were receiving from the production and the network. The incident highlighted the challenge of keeping a good public image when figures faced legal issues, and Chumley's narrative changed from funny to controversial. This affected his role on the show and Pawn Stars' perception and its audience connection. Pawn Stars' popularity unexpectedly impacted the gold and silver pawn shop. This transformation affected not only her role on the show, but also the overall perception of Pawn Stars and its ability to maintain authenticity and connection with its audience. Number 6. Business problems and the invasion of tourism. The popularity of Pawn Stars had an unexpected impact on the core business of the show, the gold and silver pawn shop. The regular operations of the shop were affected, and the employees faced challenges in serving loyal customers while dealing with the constant presence of tourists. This situation complicated the store's ability to maintain its business activities and affected the customer experience. The duality of being both a business and a tourist attraction created internal tensions and operational challenges. Additionally, the employees, whose pay depended partly on sales, faced financial difficulties due to the disruptions caused by filming. The need for a controlled environment during filming limited the store's ability to operate normally, affecting both employees and customers. This imbalance highlighted the complications of managing a pawn shop that had turned into a television phenomenon. While the shop used to attract customers interested in buying or selling valuable items, the growing popularity of the show brought in a new type of fan. These tourists, more interested in seeing the cast members and experiencing the show's setting in person, often didn't engage in actual business transactions. This created an environment where the store was packed with people, but the actual sales didn't necessarily reflect the increase in visitor traffic. Travis Benton expressed frustration. Constant disruptions made store operations difficult. Employees adapted to extra demands of tourist interactions and filming logistics. This increased workload and tensions balancing regular duties with new demands. Employees, accustomed to a certain workflow, had to adapt to the additional demands of interacting with tourists and handling filming logistics. This situation not only increased the workload, but also created tensions within the team as employees struggled to balance their regular responsibilities with the new demands imposed by the popularity of its 5,000 yen program. The impact on employees' income was another significant issue. Many of the store's workers relied on sales commissions to supplement their salaries. With the frequent interruptions and the influx of tourists who weren't interested in buying, sales opportunities decreased. This directly impacted the livelihoods of the employees and created a sense of uncertainty and frustration. The need for a controlled environment during filming often meant that parts of the store had to be closed off or restricted, further reducing sales opportunities. The duality of being a functional business and a tourist attraction also affected the customer experience. Regular customers, those who came to the shop intending to buy or sell, found themselves in a crowded store, sometimes with limited services due to the filming. This negatively impacted the perception of customer service and the store's reputation as a reliable and efficient business. The priority of accommodating tourists and managing the production of the show often conflicted with the need to provide good service to commercial customers. Managing this duality posed significant challenges for Rick Harrison and his team. The store had become a world-famous attraction, but balancing its operation as a business with its role as the set of a successful TV show was complicated. The store's ability to adapt to these changing demands and find ways to mitigate the negative impacts was crucial for its ongoing success. Number 7. The decline of the expert's reputation. The reputation of the experts on Pawn Stars was essential for the show's credibility. However, over time, this credibility was called into question due to a series of misjudgments and legal scandals. John Resnikoff, an autograph authenticator, made a significant mistake by incorrectly identifying a signature on a script from The Godfather. Johnny Jimenez Jr., Usand, a toy expert, faced legal repercussions after a domestic violence incident. The most serious case was that of Drew Max, an authentication expert who was involved in a lawsuit over fraudulent sports goods. Max was accused of authenticating counterfeit items, which cast a shadow over the authenticity of the show's evaluations. These scandals not only tarnished the reputation of the experts, but they also raised doubts about the truthfulness of the show as a whole. The scandals involving the experts raised significant concerns about the overall integrity of Pawn Stars. The credibility of the experts is not only a part of the program's format, it is essential to its identity. When these experts were found to be involved in illegal activities or errors in professional judgment, not only was their reputation tarnished, but the veracity of the program was also called into question. Number 8. The influence of social media and cancel culture. In the age of social media, cancel culture has played a significant role in public perception of media figures and television shows. Pawn Stars was no exception. Rick Harrison's discriminatory comments and controversial statements, such as his stance on the transgender bathroom debate, sparked criticism and controversy. The controversy surrounding Olivia Black, a former pawn shop employee who was fired from the show due to her history in the adult entertainment industry, also sparked heated debate over discrimination and workplace ethics. The irony of firing Black for her previous work in the porn industry didn't go unnoticed by observers. These controversies reflected broader social debates about discrimination, the influence of celebrities, and the ethical responsibilities of public figures and television shows. These incidents not only contributed to the decline of the show, but also highlighted the need for a more informed and empathetic approach to complex social issues. Number 9. The challenges of expanding the business. The attempt to expand the business with the creation of Pawn Plaza didn't achieve the expected success. Despite the initial appeal, several dining establishments in the mall closed their doors, and others struggled to survive. The lack of promotional support from Rick Harrison and unmet expectations led many tenants to express their concerns and disappointment. Pawn Plaza was conceived with high hopes, capitalizing on Rick Harrison's celebrity status and the widespread appeal of Asterisk. Pawn Stars. However, the reality that unfolded was completely different from expectations. The Square, and its culinary establishments in particular, faced an uphill battle for survival. This stark contrast between projected success and actual business results highlighted a critical gap in the company's strategy. The tenants expressed their concern about the lack of promotional support from Rick, which they had assumed would be a given considering the company's ties to a television personality. The grand vision that had been painted for them seemed to dissolve in the harsh light of reality used, and everyone involved had to learn the hard way that the success of a show like Pawn Stars is not a guaranteed formula for the success of associated commercial endeavors. Number 10. The decline of the show and the future of pawn shops. The loss of character complexity and predictability contributed to the show's decline. Pawn Stars strayed from its roots, losing the essence that made it a phenomenon. The shop, once a treasure trove of history and negotiation, became a stage for artificial dramas. Production and business issues, along with family conflicts and scandals, marked the end of an era for Pawn Stars. Once a treasure trove of history and commerce, the store had been transformed into a stage for artificial dramas. Additionally, production and business issues, along with family conflicts and scandals, marked the end of an era for Pawn Stars. The gold and silver pawn shop, once the heart of the show, now faces significant challenges in maintaining its relevance and success in an increasingly competitive environment. As the show progressed, expert misjudgments and legal entanglements developed into a plot that viewers could not ignore, eventually leading to the show's collapse. The legend of Pawn Stars has been overshadowed by the personal struggles and legal battles of its stars, reshaping their identity and leaving fans wondering about the future of their beloved series. Do you think there are other reasons why Hardcore Pawn should have ended? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.